Those statues are dwarven paragons, if I remember right.
We prefer that outsiders not
Best
witness
of their
our
ancestors.
infighting, but your presence will be.
I haven't eaten in days. I haven't eaten in days.
So tell me, was the Tower of Magi everything you thought it would be?
Abominations running rampant? Templars ready to slaughter every mage in sight? Yes, it rather met all my expectations.
You don't think you might have been better off getting your training there, instead of whatever your mother taught you?
You're right. My mother didn't nearly have as many abominations running about. That certainly would have improved my education.
I'll give you that one.
I'm so relieved.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king! I won't have fighting in the Commons, especially in front of outsiders. Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the Commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order. See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry. Personal battles for honor and ancestor. I don't expect a surfacer to understand. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter. They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here. Yes, you should.
That is a remarkable amount of lava. Do you think anyone ever falls in?
Did you see that? I cannot believe what this city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive. Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir. Lord Harrowmont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the Assembly to endorse Harrowmont. The city is torn apart. King Endrin is dead, and the Assembly can't decide who takes the throne, Lord Harrowmont or that monster Balin. Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along. He is a good man and a skilled general. King Endrin trusted him with his life, and I will do no less. I am Narav Helmi, 3rd daughter of the 2nd matron of House Helmi. And you, stranger, what brings you to Orzammar at such a time? He died in bed after his eldest son was murdered, and the Assembly condemned his 2nd son for it. I cannot blame him for preferring to join the ancestors in eternal peace, if Balin didn't murder him himself. Only as a potential match for one of his sons. He was a good king, stern and fair and just. You come at a sad time, stranger. I'm going home to wait it out. I suggest you do the same.
Huh.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter. No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down. Gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say. Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying? Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Or maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad vein. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging. Then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work you've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself. Of course we are. Weak surfacers like you touch the raw ore, and you'll bleed from your eyeballs in hours. Weird seeing how big you are. Even surface dwarves lose it. Us down here, though, we should be able to handle it just fine. Only not too much, and not every day, and not breathing the dust, and not direct in the blood. Ancestors' own bad luck. Right. Best in the trade, you know. I worked the ore myself.
A fine gift. You have my thanks. What have you there? A mirror? It is just the same as the mirror which Flemeth smashed on the ground so long ago. It is incredible that you found one so like it. I am uncertain what to say. You must wish something in return, certainly. You say that as if I should be accustomed to such a thing. I have never received a gift. Not one which did not come at a price. I suppose I should say thank you for the gift. 'Tis most thoughtful. Truly.
You look like you're not from around here. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study. I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperiums for Tikum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child? Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
So the closer you live to the surface, the higher class you are. Unless you're actually on the surface.
You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is ailing for want of a king.
Questions arise regarding Lord Balin's impending marriage to a casteless commoner. Mine is an honorable task, and I shall drown out anyone who claims otherwise.
Welcome to Lord Harrowmont's estate.
You must be under great strain with the blight upon the land. I will pray to the stone for you.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. In an ordinary time, Lord Harrowmont would be honored to meet you. Unfortunately, We've already caught more than one of Balin's spies approaching Harrowmont under a pretense of friendship. So I'm afraid I won't be able to take your word. If you want to speak to Harrowmont, you will need to prove he can trust you. That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deschers take it very seriously. And unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down. That would be enlightening. Though I hope you won't pry too deeply into things they don't wish revealed. If you wish to show your loyalty, enter the proving as his lordship's champion. With your order's reputation, I've no doubt the ancestors would favor your arm.
And this is to be your king. One who cannot keep his own men from running like frightened children.
Lord Harrowmont does not use threats or intimidation to motivate his men. He leads by example.
Ah, I see. So it's his example they follow as they cower from this Prince Balin.
How dare you slander Lord Harrowmont?
Why should we ally ourselves with someone too scared even to grant us an audience? I suppose not everyone can face death as undaunted as an Antivan, it's true.
Then you agree to fight in Harrowmont's name. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then. Then I'm afraid your only choice is to wait until there's a winner. Lord Harrowmont cannot risk his life working with someone of unproven loyalties. If you change your mind, let me know. The proving is this afternoon, and Lord Harrowmont could certainly use you on his side.
This has dragged on too long. It's an insult to King Endrin's memory.
Lord Balin suspected of personally defacing statues of the Paragon.
I hope you'll support Lord Harrowmont.
News of the hour. Does Lord Harrowmont think that Orzammar can hold off the dwarves forever? The Assembly demands an answer.
Let's wipe them out.
It's your time to shine.
Yes. Quick.
Good on you, Warden. You caught them in the act. I guess desperate times drive people
And I'm off.
to strange things.
All right.
Huh.
Going. All right.
No one enters the prince's estate without an invitation.
Thanks again, Warden.
Who would dare take from the memories? Orden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shapered. What have we been reduced to? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine! He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dusttown. They couldn't know the value. Disgusting. Someone stole from the Shapered. The memories of... Yes, that's the attitude of many.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. I was looking for something about the Orton Tig. It was lost during the last Blight, and there aren't many records left. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Orton, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Orton, who was training in Orzammar when the Tig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads. A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories. The Grey Warden's visit has been recorded in the memories, along with all who accompany you. Ask, and I shall do my best to answer. All dwarves who die return to the stone as ancestors, to guide their families forever. But only one every few generations rises to Paragon. A Paragon is a dwarf whose accomplishments change Orzammar so much that the Assembly recognizes they've been born blessed. They are venerated as living ancestors and found a new noble house forever bearing their name. There is one Paragon of this generation, a woman named Branka. She was born a smith, but her inventions caught the Assembly's eye. Before she had seen 20 years, she created a smokeless coal. It could burn in a cave without vents and no one would choke from it. It earned her Paragon status. She went into the deep roads 2 years ago seeking out secrets of the ancient smiths. She never returned. We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. Kal Sharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with Darkspawn. They were once our highways beneath the mountains. Now the Darkspawn claim them and few venture there, except your order, who enter the deep roads when they retire, so they can die slaughtering as many Darkspawn as possible. The Paragon Caridon, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the Darkspawn. One golem is worth a dozen dwarves in battle. But Caridon's Tig is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more. They are to us what a colony is to surfacers. at the other side of the old empire. During the last Blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive. Kal Sharok is the only other city to outlast the Blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us. The Paragon Caridon, when it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls, at the other side of the old empire. They sealed. Kal Sharok is the only other city to outlast the Blight. We only rediscovered. I will settle your mind if I can, Warden. All dwarves who die return to the stone as ancestors. To guide, they are venerated as living ancestors and found a new noble house forever bearing their name. Branka is a paragon, now and into death. She was born a smith, but her inventions, it could burn in a cave without vents and no one would choke from it. It earned, but we lost too many battles. I will settle your mind if I can, Warden. The Shaperit guards Orzammar's knowledge. We have preserved in Lyrium all of the records of Dwarven history. The memories record all. They are how we know to which family a child owes life, how we trace lost Taigs. They ensure we forget nothing of our past, good or bad. Ask, and I shall do my best to answer. Your presence has been recorded in the memories. I wish you well. When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king. The memories. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. They ensure we forget nothing of our past, good. Ask, and I shall do my best to answer. But we lost too many battles. I will settle your mind if I can, Warden. Please, speak your mind. Your presence here has been recorded in the memories. I wish I knew what significance it had.
And I'm off. All right. Huh.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring? It would be hard not to notice the Grey Warden and his eclectic entourage. I hear you seek the aid of Orzammar's finest. Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now, the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now. My prince is the rightful king, but a disappointing number of lords back the upstart Harrowmont for the throne. If you show your support for Prince Balin, he might be able to assist with your requests. Haramond promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmi. Haramond can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Haramond gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes. That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty. Normally, the Shapers would handle this sort of accusation. They are the scholars who manage our laws, histories, and genealogies. They are the final arbiters of all disputes in Orzammar. Unfortunately, the Shaper of Memories is the most important among them, and his grandfather was Lord Haramond's aunt's first cousin. Obviously, we cannot expect him to offer an unbiased opinion. I guess I can't expect you surfacers to understand the importance of family in Orzammar. The Shaper is biased, and if you want Prince Balin's help, you'll have to show where your loyalties lie. Will you do it? Don't expect this offer to last. If my prince hears you swore allegiance to his enemy, he won't be so friendly next time. I will be here if you change your mind.
The Assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions.
Do you see how things lie, Warden? Lord Haramond cannot trust you unproven, but he welcomes a good faith gesture. Balin is hosting a proving tournament to honor his father's memory, but he somehow scared off most of Lord Haramond's fighters. If you can enter as Haramond's champion, you would prove your dedication well. Have you decided then? Will you enter the provings in Haramond's name? Do not tarry. The proving starts this afternoon.
Legion of the Dead Warriors secretly wear Prince Balin's colors. Our prince has Orzamar's deadliest warriors behind him.
Going.
Lord Balin. Radical changes that will offend the ancient paragons. Have our traditions no value?
You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is here for once.
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith Caste. I pray here every day for my son, Rock. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way. The Deep Roads are where Darkspawn come from. They descend for miles into the earth, and we must patrol them constantly or be overrun. I lost my husband to them. If I lost my son the same way... You're asking what I would pay for your services? I have little money since my husband died. But wait, I saved his shield. The masterpiece my husband smithed. I was saving it for Ruck's return. If someone were to find my son or his body, they can have the shield with my blessing. How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself. Warden, so you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Don't get your hopes up. We could search the Deep Roads for decades with no sight of the boy.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
You're back? But it takes 2 weeks and 4 days minimum to make the journey to the Circle Tower.
Why do I get the feeling charting routes to the Circle Tower is one of her favorite hobbies?
I'm guessing you haven't left yet. Well, I've waited 19 years. Another month won't kill me.
What is that smell? Dwarven vomit.
Maker's blessing on you, brother. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. The Shaperid controls changes in Orzamar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting. Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always. Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
Why do the poor not rise up against their betters? This I never understood.
There goes. We'll get plenty for their kids.
Right, man?
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform. Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity, especially for someone with a few connections above ground. No offense, but your kings have some laws that don't make sense in a practical kind of world. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium, the sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got one man named Godwin. He's expecting a delivery of a stone's weight. You want an investment opportunity? I could see fit to, say, sell you that lyrium instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee. More so for someone like you, I guess. Most dwarves born down here have a natural immunity. Other races, there are problems if they spend too long with the ore. The real issue is that lyrium's valuable. It's only found down here, and human mages can't work without it. Long as you keep your eyes down and your mouth shut, we've got no further business.
What do you want, Warden? You're out of your element down here. I'm no fool. Nobody just wanders around in Dusttown. You're here looking for me, and I don't like it. You've walked into a sodding fight, Warden, and I've already passed your stupid tome along. Too bad for you.
Your clothes are so fancy. Did you get them topside? My mam used to say they don't got no stone to protect them topside. If I go up there, I'm gonna fall into the sky. Yes. When my doll left, he never came back. Who's to say he didn't fall up, eh? Don't fall into the sky when you go back up there.
Well, look at that. It's not often old Nadezhda sees a fine-dressed stranger here in Dusttown. Help a poor cripple. Well, thank you truly, my lord. That's right good of you. It takes a stranger to notice how bad things are, huh? No dwarf would lift a sodding finger. Excuse my language. What takes you out of the Diamond Quarters, stranger? You got a vice you're looking for old Nadezhda to fill? I'd say it was an accident, try to get some sympathy coin, but you look like you'd rather hear the truth. I was running protection for the Carta when some guardsmen caught me. Duster I was with had coin for a bribe, but I took a stand. Guardsmen broke my sodding kneecaps and had me kneel in dung until the infection set in. Never healed proper. I don't know where you're from, but in Orzammar, casteless have no lineage, so it's no crime to hurt you. You're born to wear a branded face in Orzammar, and you'll live your life in Dust Town. Means you don't exist. It tells everyone who sees you not to work with you, not to serve you, and not to care if you're hurt. The Deep Lords burn it into us the day we're born, so no one accidentally oversteps her place. If you have that kind of coin, Salroka, you don't want to drink what they've got here. Take yourself up to Tapster's. Long as your face isn't branded, they've got anything you want. I'll just stay out of your way then.
Spare a bit for the needy? Please, have you a coin to spare, my lord? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I.
A question I ask every day. He was eager enough for a daughter who would bring him into the mining caste. But since the boy was born, I've not seen nose or heel of the lout.
And me alone on the street, forbidden to return to my family unless I... But no! I can't bear to even think of it! My name is Erlinda. I wasn't always like this. I was born to a mining caste family. We weren't wealthy, but I never went hungry before. Now it's all gone, and it's my own fault. Ancestors curse me, but there's nothing I can do to set it right.
I've heard that word. It's a human term, right? For a child with no father? Well, my son has a father, for all the good it's done him. He was casteless, and I know he was just trying to father a higher caste child so he could petition for status. But our child was a son, casteless like his father. My parents disowned me and stripped my caste from me. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him. In Orzammar, lineage is traced through the child's same-sex parent. Had my baby been a girl, she would have been a minor like me. But as a boy, my son is considered tainted forever by his father's seed. Yes, I can become casteless with him, which is what I've done. Others have raised children like this, right? Begging for change, sleeping in doorways?
You would do that? But why?
Then I cannot offer enough gratitude. But I warn you, my father is a stiff-necked man. His name is Ordell, and he's usually at Tapster's in the evening. I do not think he will listen to you. But I will wait anxiously to see if you can do what you promise.
If I were tall and beautiful like you, I could make all sorts of money.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
all right.
What are you looking for? We got nothing to buy for the likes of you. Or maybe you wanted to sell. Of course.
Huh.
Do you know that Dwarven ale isn't truly ale at all? And it's black. Marvelous.
Atrust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you? So you come to Tapsters? I guess you're not asking for anything official, or you'd be at the Shaperate. But I can certainly give you a mole's eye view. The nobles stay upstairs, except when they're slumming. You'll find the assembly there, the palace, the Shaperate, and plenty of estates. Down from here is just Dust Town or the mines, so my recommendation is avoid. It's not part of the city, just some old tunnels where the castlists build their nest. No one goes there if they can help it. But if you want fun, your best bet is the Proving. It's a chance for all the best fighters in Orzammar to test their skills. There's a tournament today. Arenas between here and the Diamond Quarter. Maybe I can help. He's the one in the corner, still dusty from the mines. Don't expect him to be chatty.
Afternoon, stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew? Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit. Yourself? I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs. Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live. Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. Getting more crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow, and we're not the only ones. Lord Harriman's got his own men there, all looking for signs of Branka. Guess the city's getting to miss having a paragon. Everyone wants someone to put in charge. Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost Tigers. Looking for signs of Branka, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after. Watch yourself. Orzammar politics are getting near as dangerous as battle.
Told him I don't understand.
Like an ale's 3 silvers a tumbler.
I mean, it's how the ancestors show their favor. Do they really need our help to decide who's worthy? And then he practically slapped.
What are you looking at, stranger? I could be. What business is it of yours? What? You think she'd die just to keep that thing? She knows what she has to do to come home. I never wanted her gone. Just the little cur. Can't she see she'd have a better life if she got rid of it? I've been trying. It's not as easy as I thought. Look, just tell her... We never meant to hurt her. It just seemed best that... Oh, just tell her to come home. Her mother and I are waiting for her.
Lord Dennick Helmi, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? You don't get far as the youngest and most outspoken member of the Assembly without keeping an ear to the stone. I heard there was a Grey Warden in town. No offense, but you kind of stand out. But there are those like you who see this with concern, no? Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the Assembly. Orzammar is so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the Assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill. Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality. I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Court in his life. But Lord Harriman seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning. As you wish.
strange like the rest. Monsters hidden in all my friends. They follow you. Once you are in the story, they possess your friends and follow. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass. Take them. I want out. I won't disappear chasing a lie. I won't.
Going. All right.
You're back. I thought you weren't coming. What did he say? Both of us? I don't believe he said that. I've never heard him refer to my son as anything but trash. He calls him it. But maybe Mother convinced him. Or you did. Oh, my friend. I cannot thank you enough. If this were a story, my son would grow to manhood and pledge himself as a knight in your service. When he grows up, I will send him to you. I promise.
Legion of the Dead sighted battling Darkspawn near Orzammar. They have no...
Lord Haramont is a weak man, and he will be a weak king. Yes.
Going.
Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzamar's memories? That is an odd request, especially for one so new to our city. I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition? What sort of charities do you mean? Traditionally, that is their extended family's responsibility, but sometimes people fall through the cracks. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more? I will record this conversation in the memories. I hope I do not come to regret it.
Lord Haramont is a weak man, and he will be a weak...
Lord Balin is a bad, bad man!
This no doubt leads out to the deep roads, the ancient passages that once led to the other dwarven kingdoms.
Go on, I'm out of the nug game. Got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found.
Andraste teaches that patience is the child of wisdom, but I'm eager to hear if you've seen the Shaper. Oh, praise the Maker! You truly walk in the light, friend. I already found a convert among the merchants who offered his shop as a temporary chantry. It's just by the tapsters. Please, come to our first service.
And I'm off.
What's this? A human? Can we make these tunnels tall enough for humans? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesha's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today. Into the deep roads? Not without a full unit of soldiers to back you, my friend. Or Adesha's permission to risk yourself. Orzammar can't afford to lose its citizens or honored guests on casual visits to the deeps. Of course not. Down here, you're bound to run into giant spiders, deep stalkers, and other vermin. Ugly beasts they are. Walk on two legs, but they have the head of a worm and hunt in packs. Watch out. They're not afraid to take on a group their own size. A few outposts. Legion of the Dead, mostly. Fools that they are. Some scavenger types, too. It's an independent company of soldiers. They accept no command but their own. Anyone who can bear arms can join, no matter his crimes. Or sanity. They hold a funeral when they join, and swear their only goal is a glorious death. Into the deep roads? Not without a... Orzammar can't afford to lose its citizens or honored guests on what anyone knows. She went out there with her entire house and she's never coming back.
You don't think maybe she's still there, Commander? She is a paragon, after all.
And now she's an ancestor. No one lasts 2 years in the tunnels. For your sake, I hope you've no reason to come here again.
You know, Alistair, Antiva has a long tradition of royal bastards.
You don't say.
Oh yes, they've led wars to claim the throne. Some of them have become kings. In fact, I'd say the current royal line in Antiva stems from bastard blood several times over.
Well, aren't you just chock full of useless trivia today?
Sadly, whenever a royal bastard rears their head in public and declares themselves, it often goes poorly for them.
Let me guess. They get assassinated.
Only the very popular ones.
And the unpopular ones?
Well, they get by somehow, I'm sure. There was one fellow who did quite well working as a prostitute, based on his uncanny resemblance to the king. Charged a fortune.
Couldn't afford him, I take it.
That cynicism will serve you well, my friend. Hold on to it.
Going. Huh.
Ah, the highlight of underground existence, I take it.
Good day, stranger. Welcome to the Proving Arena. We're still closed until the fighters make their preparations, but come back this afternoon if you want to watch the show. Prince Balin called a citywide proving this afternoon to honor King Endrin's memory. All the best fighters in Orzammar will face each other in sight of the ancestors and win honor for their champions. Enjoy our grand city.
Going.
So, are you a very religious man, Alistair? I'm curious. I believe I heard you say you were raised in an abbey.
I was raised in a castle. I was schooled in the abbey. As far as being religious, I don't know. Not especially. What about you? Not in your line of work, I expect.
Why do you say that? I happen to be quite devoted in my way, as most Antivans are.
Truly? But you kill people for money.
And I ask forgiveness for my sins from the Maker every chance I get. What manner of monster do you think I am?
But you ask forgiveness and then you go right on with your sinning.
The Maker has never objected. Why should you?
I have no idea.
The Maker has never objected. Why should you? I see your friendship with the Grey Warden is going very well.
Is there a reason you say that with a smirk, elf?
I think you know. You and I are not so dissimilar after all. I know what you're doing, lovely woman.
And what is it that you think I am doing? Besides the Grey Warden, that is.
Biding your time, naturally. But for what, I wonder?
Why don't you ask him if you're so curious?
I doubt that he even knows. I am content to wait and see for myself, however.
Then don't bring it up again.
Yes.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Bronca,
Show some pity for a poor old man. Spare a few bits for an old man.
concentrate, like we practiced. Now, fire! I'm taking these apprentices to Redcliffe. The first enchanter says you need every able-bodied mage for the war. They're young, but capable enough, as you saw.
You went above and beyond the call of duty for the Circle. You have done us proud. Orzammar, indeed. You have piqued my curiosity. It is common knowledge that dwarves lack the aptitude for spellcraft. She will never be able to weave the simplest magic, no matter how hard she tries. Fascinating. I suppose the Circle should be flattered. I see. If she is willing to sacrifice so much for this, then we should feel honored. Tell Dagna of Orzammar that this path will not be easy. But if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate. Ah, if only the Circle was in better shape. I fear she may be disappointed when she arrives. This will be interesting. She could tell us much about our dwarven neighbors. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea. I shall take this as an indication that perhaps things are starting to look up for the Circle. Thank you. You've already done much for the Circle. Now you must see to your duty as a Grey Warden. I wish you well. Know you will always be welcome here.
Dogs.
Hello, how can I... It's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the circle and back, I hope. Oh, please tell me what they said. Ancestors, bless you. I can't believe it. There hasn't even been a dwarven observer in the circle since Urelden in the 13th century. I need to pack. No, my parents would get suspicious. I need to go. Is there anything I should bring? Books? Tuition? Then I should go before my parents come looking for me. If you ever go to the circle again, maybe I'll see you there.
Yes, Warden. What is it? Yes, you should. You're the best wrangler I've ever seen. But there's more out there.
Just can't get enough of our clammy mine air, can you? Did you need something? Into the deep roads? Not without a full unit of soldiers to back you, my friend. Or a Desher's permission to risk yourself. Orzammar can't afford to lose its citizens or honored guests on casual visits to the deeps. Aye, for your sake, I hope you've no reason to come here again.
Yes.
News of the hour. Support Lord Balin. A new offensive is required against the Darkspawn, says Lord Balin.
Going.
Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the assembly of the clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in. Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the Gate Guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne. I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harrowmont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. Dulin Verendurn, Harrowmont's man, can be found at the Harrowmont estate. Vartag Gavorn, Prince Balin II, is often here in the Assembly. I only wish there was more I could do for you. Warden, I'm afraid the Assembly is still locked in debate. What can I do for you? At this point, they're stone for stone. I wouldn't put any coin on the outcome. It's still up in the air, though. One big surprise, and it could go either way. Warden, I'm afraid the Assembly is still locked in debate. What can I do for you? I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harrowmont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. Dulin Ferender, Harrowmont's man, can be found at the Harrowmont estate. Vartag Gavorn, Prince Balin II, is often here in the Assembly. I only wish there was more I could do for you. Warden, I'm afraid the Assembly is still locked in debate. What can I do for you? At this point, they're stone for stone. I wouldn't put any coin on the outcome. It's still up in the air, though. One big surprise, and it could go either way.
I hope you're not wasting my time with more dithering. The choice I gave you was clear. If you want Balin to support you in your surface war, you'll have to help him take the throne. I don't know what insult you mean by pretending not to recognize me, but as you know, I am Vartag Gavorn. Trusted? Now, are you going to help us in return for Balin's aid or not? Better make up your mind, or Balin will wonder why you're spending so much time here. I hope you're not wasting my time with more dithering. The choice I gave you was clear. If you want Balin to support you in your surface war, you'll have to help him take the throne. Very well, but do not expect my prince to see you as anything more than another ignorant surfacer. I will be here if you change your mind.
Huh. That's a lot of lava. I guess they just hope it never erupts.
Grey Warden arrives in Orzammar, most likely to pay respect to the rightful.
This has dragged on too long. It's an insult to King Endrin's memory.
News of the hour. Questions remain as to Lord Balin's involvement.
Do you see how things lie, Warden? Lord Harrowmont cannot trust you unproven, but he welcomes a good faith gesture. Balin is hosting a proving tournament to honor his father's memory, but he somehow scared off most of Lord Harrowmont's fighters. If you can enter as Harrowmont's champion, you would prove your dedication well. Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the Proving Master and tell him you're entering Lord Harrowmont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Baisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
All right.
2 years tomorrow.
By all son. So,
There's one thing I do not understand, Alistair.
Just the one thing.
About you, perhaps. Why the deception over your parentage?
I'd figure you'd be the sort who knows all about deception.
I do. And what use the deception might have had ended when King Cailan perished, did it not?
Maybe. I guess I was sort of hoping that would go away.
The truth does not go away.
Didn't say it was a good plan.
Watch for Piotr Naidukin. He's won the squad combat 4 years running. He has 11 decapitations so far. He needs just 3 more for the one-season record. Front row seats at every grand proving since my father took me on his shoulders. Name's Varric. I got a controlling interest in a mine off the old Rooston Tig. But my backers know not to hand me a pick any day there's blood on the stone, if you know what I mean. Sure. Like King Endrin was just a noble. A proving is a sacred art. Any dispute brought to the proving ground is settled by the ancestors' decision, and no one can protest it. They change from round to round. Sometimes it's bare hands, sometimes weapons, sometimes pairs or squads. It's announced when the fight begins. That's about all the warning anyone gets. Me? Are you out of your mind? I'm a miner, not a warrior. I'm telling you, Piotr will take the prize. You can put gold on it.
Look, I already told the Proving Master I withdrew. Do you have to keep harassing me? Why, I'm Baisel Harrowmont, but you know that. Why else would you... If you weren't looking for me, do me a favor and pretend I never said anything. Nothing. I'm leaving the Proving. Look, it's just, when I was younger, I had a thing with this Idukan girl, Revelka. Lesser cousin, nowhere near the throne. Her family wanted her marrying up, so they matched her with a BMO. But we didn't exactly stop seeing each other. She's married to a prominent Desher's heir. We should have stopped a long time ago, but I love her. Do you know what that's like? Now Balin found out, and I can't even help my cousin for fear he'll tell her husband. No. One of his fighters, a woman named Miyaja, she's the one who threatened to expose me. They have letters. Love letters Revelka wrote me. If they were made public, she'd be disgraced. Her husband would cast her aside, and I would be lucky to be allowed to die in a duel. There's no way to guarantee that. I appreciate the thought, but they really have me over a shaft here. You'd do that? I don't know how to thank you. I know it's my own fault, but I'd have married her if I could. If you can make sure that evidence doesn't get out, I'd be happy to fight in the proving. But you need to find them quickly. Registrations close once the first bout starts.
Huh.
This deal was all their making, Warden. Technically, I haven't done anything wrong. We have no business. Unless you want to make a few coins. Not that I'm suggesting anything. But you're holding the prize now. I have a collector in mind. Who actually sells the item doesn't matter. It's your call. As always, I let people make their own decisions. Yes, well, I'll keep my nose clean until you're long gone. How about that? I'm just a businessman. I merely exploit opportunities. I won't get in your way.
You looking at something?
Get out of here!
Do not disturb me. I must meditate before my fight.
You new in the fights? I don't remember seeing you before. Was. Name's Guidon, and I just tendered my resignation. Somehow I don't think the ancestors will favor me today. It's not so much what happened, as what's going to. I heard from a reliable source Lord Harriman's already given up the throne. Balin called this whole proving to let his lordship save face when he concedes. It lets Harriman save face by bowing to the ancestors' decision when he loses. But how do you think it looks for the men who support him? I'd back Harriman as he asked, but if he's giving up, I won't sacrifice my family so he can retire with dignity. Oh? And where did you hear this that's more reliable than a member of the Assembly? I suppose there's nothing his lordship would do without consulting Dulin. He's always been his top man. Maybe you're right. I'm just a warrior. I've always tried to stay out of these noble politics. If I find out this whole thing was some flunky of Balin's lying to me for his own gain, I'll... Maybe I will at that.
Go away. I don't talk to admirers until after the fight.
This area is off limits. Combatants only. Is that an accusation? It's illegal to threaten proving fighters outside the ring.
Not helping them keep their dirty secrets, though. That's another story.
You haven't been here long. You'll learn soon enough. Nothing in Orzammar is private.
As long as someone can find out.
Come on, Luke John. We have a fight to prepare for. You are quickly overstepping your welcome.
Guards, remove this intruder.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
You are quickly overstepping your welcome.
Guards, remove this intruder.
And I'm off.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
You are quickly overstepping your welcome. You are quickly overstepping your welcome.
What?
You are quickly overstepping your welcome.
your mother is supposedly the one called Flemeth, the very witch from legend. Is that not true?
There is nothing supposed about it. Flemeth is my mother.
Now it's more doubtful on the legend rather than your relationship to this woman. Anyone can claim a name after all.
You're welcome to ask her if you ever meet her. You're just her type.
Oh, elven and handsome?
The sort that will never be missed.
Sounds intriguing if you ask me.
You assassin types have a death wish, I see.
Only the really good ones.
And I'm off. Lord Balin is a bad, bad man! Yes, very bad.
Lord Balin is the voice of change and defense. Lord Haramont is the voice of stagnation and ruin.
Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzamar's memories? Your presence has been recorded in the memories. I wish you well. Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzamar's memories? Your presence has been recorded.
You found it. Warden, you have my gratitude. You're a bright spot in an otherwise dark time.
And I'm off.
News of the hour. 2 more clans endorse Lord Balin as the...
News of the hour. 3 more clans endorse Lord Haramont as the...
Yes. So, if the legend of your mother is true, Morrigan, does that mean that the legends of her many daughters are as well?
To be honest, I have no idea. I've never met any sister of mine, nor has my mother spoken of any.
But it could be true, yes? If you exist, there could have been others like you.
Long ago, perhaps? Why?
We have legends of witches in Antiva. One that tells of a witch of the wild, traveled far from her home to settle in the Teleri swamps.
And? You thought I might know this woman?
If one legend can be true, why not another? Who knows how many Morrigans are scattered about Thedas, hmm?
It's not something I'd like to contemplate.
Oh? You do not appreciate a little competition from a half-sister or two?
Silence, Elf. It is none of your concern.
On it.
You are quickly overstepping your welcome.
Step it is. On it. Perhaps I could have a try at that. Go on, then. This I can do.
Think of it, Zevran. You may have stumbled into a most delightful possibility for your future.
Oh, are you dispensing professional advice now?
It simply occurs to me that if, say, Alistair were to become King of Ferelden, he may have need of someone of your talents.
From what I know of the fellow, it seems there would be a fair difference between what he needed and what he cared to make use of.
If Alistair becomes king, it would certainly not be through any brilliance on his part. Whoever puts him there, now there's the one who will need you.
Now that's an interesting thought. You've such a devious mind, my dear. Why have we not made love as of yet?
For what purpose? I would sooner stab you in the face than let you touch me, elf.
And somehow that makes the idea even more intriguing. Such sinister glares do you a disservice, dear Morrigan. Yours should be a face that smiles.
Do tell.
Has no one told you? Perhaps that is not surprising, considering you have lived such a sheltered life. Were you a woman of the city, you would be accustomed to men showering you with praise and gifts.
I know as much of men as I need to. I know when one is indulging in pointless flattery, for instance.
It is flattery only if I exaggerate the truth to please you. I am but stating a simple fact.
Tell me, does this work on other women?
I think any woman would like to hear the truth of how her beauty affects a man. Do you not?
I think that sort of manure is best reserved for farming.
Ah, one day you will realize that you have wasted your youth and beauty on bitterness and suspicion. Mark my words.
Remind me to bring you along if we go sailing. The hot air will prove useful.
Huh.
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden, as do the Templars of the Chantry. The sincerity of your cause has drawn them together under a common banner. It would not have happened otherwise.
You witnessed the rarest of things, Warden. The Dalish stand ready to defend Ferelden. I would not insult them by asking. Word was given, and that is all that needs be said.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yes.
It's nice to see you two together. Love is such a wonderful thing, isn't it?
What are you talking about? Is this more of your insipidness?
I was talking about you and the Grey Warden. You don't think the rest of us haven't noticed, I hope?
There is nothing to notice. What you call love is nothing more than a wishful fancy.
Oh, you don't fool me. Deep down inside, you must be glad of it.
Let me tell you one thing, and let us speak of it no more. Love is a weakness. Love is a cancer that grows inside and makes one do foolish things. Love is death. The love you dream of is something that would be more important to one than anything, even life. I know no such love.
Oh.
What I know is passion, the respect of equals. Things far more valuable that I'll not speak to you of any further. Now be gone.
Yes.
The proving's almost starting. I should leave if you haven't found anything. Where did you get those? No, I don't want to know. Just thank you. I can't say what it means to know my Revelka is safe. I will be glad to fight for Harrowmont in the provings. Thank you again, friend.
Aha, you're back. Did you wish to fight in the proving today? Well, with politics what they are, many combatants are dedicating their fights to either Prince Balin or Lord Harrowmont, mostly Balin. It's a regular parade of past winners out there. Piotr Naidukan always leads a battle unit. He's the prince's cousin. Miaja and Lukejan are twins from the warrior caste. They fight together, put on a good show. They'll all be in their chambers if you want to talk. Well, that's a surprise. Never thought the Grey Wardens would take an interest in our king. Let me just put you into the schedule here. Now, is there a particular name you wish listed? We'll just call you Grey Warden, seeing as those human names are a real burr to pronounce. We actually have an opening in the first round. Are you ready to start? Fight start at the gong and go to first blood. No eye gouging, no groin pulls. The rules of each bout will be announced when it starts. You should be comfortable with normal weapons and lyrium enhanced weapons, in single combat, pairs, or battle units. Are you ready to start? Looks like Suwern's drawn first bout. He was one of the youngest champions ever. Beat his own father at 12 years old. All for the right to earn his battle status 2 years early. Are you ready to start? That's what I like to hear. I will warn you, though. This is your last chance to make preparations or meet the competition. Once the fights begin, there are no new additions to the roster. All withdrawals are treated as losses and a sign of the ancestors' disfavor. Do you want to start, or would you like some time? The fighters' quarters are behind the ring. Go down to the ring, then. I'll be right there.